Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to install an ecobee Smart Thermostat, and I'm going to install this one in my upstairs unit. I'm currently in my basement, and we are going to access the second floor unit. And I have familiarity with my HVAC system here. And just keep watching the video. We will get to the wiring piece here in just a little bit, particularly at the thermostat level. But knowing my system, I'm going to start down here at the furnace itself. And to get things started, first thing we're going to do is flip off the power. Now on my particular unit, I have a switch, and I've already flipped it down, and it has an on and an off indicator. Let's see if we can see that right there. On the top half of the switch it says off, so I know my switch is off. And today we're working with a Linux system, and what we need to do is access the control panel underneath to expose the wiring. And what we're looking for is an additional wire that we can use as our C wire. Now, use of the C wire will prevent us from having to use the power extender kit that your ecobee comes with. And without further ado, let's go ahead and take off these panels here, and I'll situate my camera to hopefully get the best angle. Alright, the first things first is I'm going to remove the top half, which is very simple to do. We're just going to use these knobs here to loosen the screws. And once again, just make sure that your AC unit is off. If you don't have a switch, then you can power off at your electrical panel. Just flip the breaker there and make sure that you have no power to your unit. And by loosening those knobs here, we have exposed the housing. We're going to go ahead and remove these two screws here as well, because our control panel is in the bottom half, and that's what we need to get access to. So I'm just going to use a pair of vice grips here. These are some hex screws, and my particular ratchet set, unfortunately, doesn't have one quite this small, so I'm going to loosen these with my vice grips just enough so that I can do the rest by hand. And let's see if that did it. Yep. I'll remove that panel and set it to the side. Alright, let's get in here and take a closer look. Okay, here we are. This is the control panel, and we have all of our wiring running to it. And the wire that is running to our thermostat is this guy right here. And the reason I know that is because this blue wire is currently not being used. And as you'll see here in a little bit, when we remove the thermostat upstairs, we do have an extra blue wire that is just dangling there, not being used, just like we have down here. And this is what we're going to use as our C wire. Now, our C wire is our control, and it is going to allow us to power our new ecobee thermostat, so that we don't have to use that power extender kit that it came with. And we're going to use a set of wire strippers here to just expose a little bit of the coppering wire here on the end of this. And I'm also using my headlamp here because it's a little dark in the basement. I have one light on, but it's not enough to really see what's going on here. So let me get a better camera angle and we'll get in here and show what we're going to do here to strip this wire and connect it to the C terminal. Okay, so once again, here is this is our blue wire. Yours may be different. Colors may not necessarily match up. Mine happen to match up color to terminal. So G wire is green, Y is yellow in my case, W for white, and then I've got my R, which is red, but you'll just have to see. Color doesn't necessarily mean it's going to match up with the letter identifier, but we're going to use one pair of wire strippers here to expose some of the copper wire here. We just need to get off just a little bit here. That's enough. And then we're just going to use a small Phillips, and we're going to loosen the C terminal. And I'll zoom in on this for you. Okay. All right, so here we go. See here, we've just exposed a little bit of that. And we're going to hit our C terminal, which currently does have a white wire connected to that terminal, but that's okay. That may be supplying power to some other accessory that you may have, like a ventilator or perhaps a humidifier. And that's okay to have more than one attached to it. So we're going to loosen just a little bit the screw there for that terminal, and then we're going to slide our newly exposed blue wire up into that there, and then we're going to tighten it down. And that's all there is to it. Pretty simple. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and button up this furnace. Some furnaces do have a protection mechanism in place such that if the panel is not installed, it will not allow you to power it on. So for my furnace, that's this little button right here. So when the when the panel is attached, then that button gets pressed in, keeping everyone safe and not exposed to the insides of the unit. So I'm going to go ahead and button this back up, and then we'll go upstairs and hit the thermostat. All right. So we're going to start by removing the old thermostat. And to do that, I'm just going to stick a screwdriver here in the side and pop off the cover. And this thermostat has been loose for a while, so I'm kind of happy to actually be replacing it, to be honest with you. The screws have come loose from the drywall, and we just went through some daylight savings. We just went through daylight savings time, so the time needs to be adjusted on here, and it'll be nice not to have to deal with that anymore. So I'm going to pull that out as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pop out the batteries. The little pull tab here. Take that one out as well. Okay. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and open up our ecobee and unbox it. Alright, so there it is. Open this up. Just a sleeve there. Box pops right off. There we have the ecobee unit itself, and we have an additional room sensor. Pop the top off, and inside the box is this booklet. go ahead and pull that out. And then inside here is going to be some instructions, both on the panel itself here, and then a booklet of instructions. You've got some stickers here to label your wires at both the thermostat and the control board if necessary. And here you have a covering that you can use to affix on your wall if you wanted to mount the ecobee unit to it, but this piece is purely optional. Inside the box we have the Power Extender Kit, which you'll see referenced as the PEK inside the documentation. Here we have a little magnetic tripod on which your additional room sensor sets atop, and there's also another option for your additional sensor. Inside this bag here, you can use this little piece here to mount it on the wall if that's better suited for you. And then in addition, we have a bag full of wall anchors. Lastly, you have your wiring board that has a leveler built in, so you can mount it level on your wall when you're replacing your other thermostat. All right. Well, to get started, we'll make use of our labels. Let's get started. All right, so here at this particular thermostat, we have our matching color-coded wires that we saw downstairs in our furnace at the control panel. And these likewise do have a letter associated with them, which right now are kind of difficult to see because they're covered up by the wires, so we'll kind of move those out of the way. But right there, you can hopefully make out the W for the white. So we'll go ahead and we will start with that one. I need a different screwdriver here. All right. We'll go ahead and loosen the terminal screw for the white one, and we will pull it out. Straight like that, and then looking at our stickers, we'll use the W because it was labeled as such. And we will wrap that around it. Oops, that ripped off, but that's okay. W. All right, and then we're going to look, and we have a green wire. And when we loosen that terminal, we might be able to see there that that is the G. So pull that out. That is the G. So we'll go ahead and label that one. As you can see with the white sticker, they can tend to tear a little easily, so just pop them on and be done with it. All right, next we have a yellow wire that is connected to this terminal. We remove it and we have Y for yellow. Not necessarily Y for yellow, but in my case it is Y. So we'll get the yellow. Notice we're grabbing the Y or Y1 sticker here because it was labeled as Y. There is a Y2 sticker, but I don't have a Y2, so I will not label it as such. And then lastly, we have this red wire running to this end terminal right there. So we're going to loosen him up as well. And we're going to pull him out. And pushing that off to the side, we see it is RC. Now, this wire was also connected to RC and to R, but we are not going to worry about that because that is part of the thermostat itself here, and we don't necessarily need that for our new Smart Thermostat. The wires we are only concerned with are those ones that are coming directly out of our wall. So I am going to go ahead and pull this off right now, and we'll grab our RC sticker, and we will pop that onto our red wire, RC. All right, great. Now, that blue wire, where is it? It might be hiding into the wall cavity, so you're gonna have to maybe pull it out a little bit. And once again, if you have an extra wire back here, you can use that as your C wire. So just go ahead and unravel it from the sheathing that was probably, in which it was probably wrapped around by the electrician who hooked this up. And we once again need our wire stripper to take off and expose some copper. So we're going to go ahead and do that. There we go. All right. Now I'll label that with C for control. Okay, let's go ahead and put on our new mounting bracket. All right, to install our ecobee, the first thing we're going to do is take our new mounting bracket here, and we're going to feed the wires through the center hole. And then we're gonna put it up on our wall, and you can see here using the leveler whether or not you have it straight or not. So that's really nice that that is built in. And we're going to leave it hang there while we grab our drill. I'm going to go ahead and reuse the screws that my old thermostat had in place. And for me, I'm really not going to worry too much about using the wall anchors. You can if you wish. I've decided that I am not going to do that. And I'll go ahead and get that in place. Go ahead and move this wire out of the way. This is the plug for my television. Kind of in the way. Go ahead and do that. All right. I'd like to run an electrical outlet behind the TV one of these days. All right, so now we've got our new panel up on the wall. And you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and take that out and go get another drywall screw and replace that. Guess the person before used this, and I just didn't like the way that it bit into the wall when I screwed it in. So I'm going to go get one that has a little bit more teeth. Took it off real quick. I actually have one of these plastic wall anchors that works really well. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop that in here. I love these things. And get that in here. Okay, I unfortunately only had one of those left. So it is what it is with that, but that's all right. Go ahead and pop our wires right back through there, and we'll reattach that guy. Re-level this up. And there we are. Perfect. Okay. Now the rest is pretty simple. We are going to match our newly labeled wires up to the labeled terminals on our ecobee control panel. And we'll start here with the C, why not? And the way that this works is just going to plug them into the side panel. Oops. Let me show you. There's a hole on the side. So we're going to plug it into the side like that. Okay. And then we will take our G and do the same thing. And what you'll notice is that these tabs on the side will depress downward as we plug them in, which is what we want. They will stay in the down position like that. All right, and then we are going to take our RC and plug it into the one labeled RC. If you need to, you can straighten these out. Okay, there's our RC. And then we're going to take our Y. And on this particular board panel, there is a Y1 with our label saying Y or Y1. That's what we're going to plug in there. And likewise with our W, it was W or W1, which is over here. So we're going to go ahead and pop him in right there. And he's popped in there as well. Now we're just going to go ahead and press the wires down like so. And we're ready to pop on our ecobee. All right, to install the ecobee is quite simple. You're just going to put it on top and snap it in. And if you need to take it off, you just pop it right off. So you might have to play with your wiring a little bit. Make sure that it's, see, like right here, I've got that down below here, the mounting piece, so I'm going to push that up a little bit. That's why it didn't go on very smoothly at first. And let's try that again. There, that was much easier that time. So that's it. And now we're going to go downstairs and we're going to flip on our switch. We should have power to our unit. Once everything's working, just as I showed you, when it comes off very easily, and we will go ahead and touch up our paint. All right, we're back down here in the basement. We're going to flip on our switch from the off to the on position. Then we're going to go upstairs and see, hopefully, our ecobee powered on. Okay, there it is. Our ecobee is powered on, ready to go. So just download your ecobee app, follow the steps for getting it set up, and you'll be good to go. So that's how you install an ecobee inside your house. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you would consider subscribing to my channel, I would also appreciate that. Have a look in the video description for any additional details, and thank you everyone for taking time to watch my video.